Hey legends, welcome back. Most people picture Australia as the land of the Sydney Opera House and the dazzling Great Barrier Reef. But trust me, there's so much more waiting just off the beaten track. Beyond the famous icons, there's a whole world of hidden gems where the real Aussie spirit shines brightest. I'm Mike, and today, we're leaving the big cities behind to wander through Australia's most enchanting, lesser-known towns. Places where the outback meets the ocean, and every street corner tells a story. These are the places where you'll find a bakery that's been serving the same secret recipe lamingtons for 80 years, or a general store that doubles as the local museum. Imagine strolling through a town where the bakery's been run by the same family for generations, or where the local pub is the heart of the community, echoing with tales of gold rushes and bushrangers. In places like Tilba Tilba in New South Wales, you'll find cheese shops run by fourth-generation locals. And in Quorn, South Australia, the old railway station hosts ghost tours that'll give you goosebumps. These are the places where you'll find secret swimming holes tucked behind gum trees, quirky festivals like the Goomeri Pumpkin Festival, and locals who'll greet you like an old mate. From the wildflower-filled valleys of the west, like the carpets of colour in Western Australia's Fitzgerald River National Park, to the misty mountain villages in the east, every hidden Aussie town has its own magic. Maybe it's a legendary pie shop in Yatala, a mysterious ghost story in Walhalla, or a breathtaking lookout in the Grampians that only the locals know about. Pro tip: always ask a local where to get the best scones or where to find the secret swimming spot. They'll never steer you wrong. So, grab your sense of adventure and get ready to discover the real Australia, one secret town at a time. Whether you're chasing waterfalls in the Atherton Tablelands, tasting fresh oysters in St. Helens, or joining a spontaneous bush dance in a hall lit by fairy lights, these are the moments you'll remember forever. And hey, drop your favorite hidden Aussie gem in the comments below. Let's uncover these treasures together, because the best stories are always found off the map. First up, let's take a journey to Yamba, a hidden gem nestled on the northern coast of New South Wales, where the mighty Clarence River meets the Pacific Ocean. This is a beach town where the world seems to slow down, inviting you to breathe deeper, smile wider, and truly unwind. Yamba isn't just a destination, it's a feeling, a gentle reminder that life doesn't always have to be rushed. Here the days are long, the air is fresh with the scent of salt and eucalyptus, and the pace of life is blissfully unhurried. But there's so much more to Yamba than meets the eye. This is a place where every corner holds a story, and every day brings a new adventure. As you wander through the heart of Yamba, you'll notice locals taking their time, strolling along the streets, pausing to chat with neighbors, or simply soaking up the sunshine at a cozy outdoor cafe. There's no rush here, just a gentle rhythm that invites you to slow down and savor every moment. Whether you're sipping a flat white or people watching from a shaded terrace, you'll quickly find yourself adapting to the town's easygoing vibe. The town's history is woven into its streets. Originally inhabited by the Yaegl people, Yamba's name is said to come from an Aboriginal word meaning headland. European settlers arrived in the 19th century, drawn by the promise of fertile land and abundant fishing, and today, echoes of that past linger in the heritage buildings and the stories shared by locals. If you're lucky, you might catch a local storyteller at the Yamba Museum, where tales of shipwrecks, riverboats, and the town's fishing legacy come alive. The main street is a vibrant hub, lined with surf shops brimming with boards and beachwear, welcoming cafes where the baristas remember your name, and a bakery that's famous for its warm, buttery pastries. Step inside and you'll be greeted by the aroma of fresh bread and the sound of friendly chatter. It's the kind of place where you'll want to linger, maybe even strike up a conversation with a local about the best surf spots or the day's catch. One morning, I found myself chatting with a retired fisherman who shared tales of the river's changing tides and the legendary Yamba prawns that have put this town on the culinary map. For a real treat, don't miss the Yamba Farmers and Producers Market held every Wednesday morning at the Whiting Beach car park. Here you can sample local honey, artisan cheeses, and the freshest fruit straight from the farm. Of course, the beaches are the real stars of Yamba. Main Beach is perfect for a refreshing swim at sunrise, with golden light dancing on the waves and hardly a soul in sight. If you're seeking solitude, Pippi Beach offers a peaceful escape. Just you, the rolling surf, and endless stretches of sand. Whether you're a seasoned surfer or just want to dip your toes in the water, there's a spot for everyone. For a truly unique experience, take a surf lesson at Turner's Beach, where friendly instructors help beginners catch their first wave. Or venture a little further to the famous Angourie Blue Pool, a natural freshwater swimming hole formed in an old quarry. Locals say a dip here is a rite of passage. For a breathtaking view, take the short walk up to the Yamba Lighthouse, built in 1955 on the site of the original 19th century structure. From here, you'll be treated to panoramic views of the coastline, and if you're lucky, you might spot migrating whales breaching offshore. And if you're lucky, you might find yourself sharing the waves with a pod of playful dolphins, a magical experience that locals say never gets old. After a morning in the surf, treat yourself to Yamba's legendary prawns, fresh, sweet, and served in countless delicious ways at seaside restaurants. Watch as fishermen bring in their catch at dawn, and savor the flavors of the ocean, expertly prepared by local chefs. I'll never forget the first time I tasted Yamba prawns, grilled with just a hint of lemon and sea salt, while the sun set over the water, a simple meal that felt like pure luxury. For foodies, Yamba is a treasure trove. Try the seafood platter at the kiosk Yamba, or book a table at Sandbar for oysters and local fish paired with a glass of crisp New South Wales white wine. If you're after something casual, the Yamba Bowling Club serves up classic Aussie pub fare with a view of the greens. Every meal here comes with a view, whether you're dining on a breezy terrace overlooking the Pacific or enjoying a sunset picnic on the headland. The food is fresh, the company is warm, and the scenery is simply unforgettable. It's the kind of place where meals linger into the evening, laughter carries on the sea breeze, and every bite tastes better with an ocean backdrop. For a special treat, book a table at one of Yamba's acclaimed seafood restaurants, where the catch of the day is paired with local wines and the sound of waves provides the perfect soundtrack. Or grab fish and chips from the local takeaway and enjoy them on the grass at Flinders Park, watching the sky turn pink as the sun dips below the horizon. Beyond the beaches and cafes, Yamba's community spirit shines through its bustling farmers markets, vibrant pop-up art galleries, and the ever-present surf culture. Here you'll find artists capturing the beauty of the coastline, families shopping for fresh produce, and surfers waxing their boards before heading out for another session. The monthly Yamba River markets are a local favorite, offering everything from handmade crafts to live music under the shade of ancient fig trees. It's a place where everyone feels welcome, and newcomers are quickly made to feel at home. I still remember the friendly stallholder who insisted I try her homemade macadamia brittle. One bite, and I was hooked. If you're an art lover, check out the Yamba Art Space, a gallery showcasing works by local creatives, or time your visit for the annual Yamba Surfing Festival, where the town comes alive with competitions, food stalls, and beachside concerts. But be warned, Yamba has a way of capturing hearts. Many visitors arrive for a weekend getaway, only to find themselves dreaming of a more permanent escape. With its stunning sunsets, friendly faces, and irresistible charm, you might just find yourself browsing real estate, or imagining a new life by the sea. In Yamba, time slows down, and you may never want to leave. As one local told me, people come for the beaches, but they stay for the community. And after just a few days here, you'll understand exactly what they mean. For those seeking adventure, hire a kayak and paddle the Clarence River at dusk, or set out on the Uragia Coastal Walk, a spectacular trail that winds through wildflower-strewn headlands and secluded coves. And if you're after a true hidden gem, ask a local about the secret swimming spots along the river, or the best place to watch the sunrise with a thermos of coffee in hand. In Yamba, every day brings a new story, and every visitor leaves with memories that last a lifetime. Next, we journey to Stanley, Tasmania, a town that feels as if it's been gently lifted from the pages of a storybook and set down on a windswept peninsula, surrounded by the wild embrace of the Bass Strait. Stanley is a living time capsule, where the present and the past blend seamlessly. As you arrive, the salty tang of the sea fills the air, mingling with the scent of wood smoke and fresh-baked bread drifting from the old bakeries. The main street, lined with beautifully preserved colonial buildings, is a testament to the town's rich heritage. Each weathered brick and ornate ironwork whispers stories of the 1800s, when Stanley was a bustling port and the headquarters of the Van Diemen's Land Company, a British enterprise that shaped much of Tasmania's early history. The echoes of whalers, sealers, and intrepid settlers seem to linger in the crisp morning air. For history buffs, a visit to the Highfield Historic Site is a must. This grand Regency-style homestead, built in the 1830s, was once the nerve center of the Van Diemen's Land Company. Wander its stately rooms, admire the antique furnishings, and listen to costumed guides recount tales of ambition, hardship, and intrigue. The site's windswept gardens offer panoramic views of Stanley and the wild coastline beyond. Looming above it all is the Nut, a colossal volcanic plug that rises 143 meters above the town. Its sheer cliffs and flat summit dominate the skyline, casting long shadows over the heritage cottages and winding cobbled streets below. The Nut is more than a landmark. It's the soul of Stanley, a silent guardian that has watched over generations. Local legend tells of spirits that dwell within its ancient rock, and some say that on misty mornings you can hear the faint echoes of the Palawa people, Tasmania's First Nations, who once called this land home. According to Palawa tradition, the Nut is a place of great spiritual significance, and shell middens found nearby are a reminder of thousands of years of connection to this land. For a unique experience, join a local guide for a cultural walk and hear stories passed down through generations. For those with a spirit of adventure, the steep path to the Nut summit is a rite of passage. The climb is invigorating, the air growing cooler and fresher with every step, while the chairlift offers a gentler ascent, gliding silently above the treetops. At the top, you're rewarded with breathtaking 360-degree views, the endless blue of the Bass Strait, the patchwork of emerald fields, and the tiny toy-like houses of Stanley below. The wind whistles through the grass, and wildflowers nod in the breeze. Keep an eye out for wallabies and rare birds. The Nut is a haven for wildlife. Pack a picnic and linger at the summit, or join a guided nature walk to learn about the unique flora and fauna that thrive here. Down by the shoreline, the wild beauty of Stanley's coast is on full display. Rugged cliffs plunge into the restless ocean, where waves crash with a thunderous rhythm that has shaped the land for millennia. The salty breeze is invigorating, carrying the cries of gulls and the distant clang of fishing boats returning to harbor. Walk along the rocky shore, where driftwood and seaweed collect in tangled heaps, and let the cool spray of the sea awaken your senses. Don't miss Godfrey's Beach at dusk, where you can watch little penguins waddle ashore to their burrows, a magical sight for visitors of all ages. For a deeper dive into maritime history, explore the remnants of the old whaling station and read the interpretive signs that tell of Stanley's seafaring past. As dusk settles, Stanley transforms into a place of enchantment and mystery. The golden light of sunset bathes the historic streets, casting long shadows and turning the sandstone buildings to molten gold. Locals gather by lamplight to share ghost stories, tales of shipwrecks, lost sailors, and the legendary Stanley Lady, said to haunt the old cemetery on misty nights. One local, Mrs. Thompson, recalls seeing a pale figure drifting among the gravestones as a child, a story she now shares with visitors on the popular lantern-lit walking tours. These tours wind through the town, revealing hidden corners and secret histories, and are a must for anyone who loves a good yarn. Stanley is a treasure trove for curious travelers. Wander into the Stanley Discovery Museum, where relics from the whaling era and the Van Diemen's Land Company bring the past to life. Pop into artisan shops filled with handmade crafts, or linger in a sunlit cafe, savoring a cup of locally roasted coffee and a slice of famous Tasmanian scallop pie. Don't miss the Nut Cafe for a true taste of the region, or the Stanley Hotel for a hearty meal and a chat with the locals, who are always eager to share a story or two. For a unique souvenir, visit the local woodturner's workshop, or browse the weekend market for jams, honey, and woolens. Whether you're exploring the town's historic sites, chatting with fishermen on the wharf, or simply soaking in the tranquil, timeless atmosphere, Stanley will capture your heart. It's a place where history, legend, and natural beauty come together, inviting you to slow down, listen, and become part of its enduring story. And if you're lucky, you might just leave with a tale of your own to tell. Over in Victoria, tucked away on the windswept shipwreck coast, lies Port Fairy, a town where time seems to slow and creativity flows as freely as the ocean breeze. Here, the bohemian spirit is woven into every corner, from the salty air to the vibrant community that calls this place home. Port Fairy is the artsy coastal town you never knew you needed. Its heritage buildings and historic streetscapes are alive with creative energy. Think pastel shopfronts, independent galleries, and artists painting on plein air, inspired by the ever-changing light. Don't miss the pop-up art markets or mural trails that turn the town into a living canvas. For a hands-on experience, join a pottery or printmaking workshop. Many local artists open their studios to visitors. Music is the heartbeat of Port Fairy. On any given night, you'll find live performances echoing from historic pubs and laneways, where musicians, both local legends and traveling troubadours, turn every corner into a stage. Seek out open mic nights at tucked-away cafes, or follow the sound of acoustic guitars to a spontaneous jam session under the stars. If you can, time your visit for the legendary Port Fairy Folk Festival. For one magical weekend each March, the town transforms into a bohemian wonderland, streets pulsing with music, laughter, and the scent of food trucks. Expect street parades, fire twirlers, and late-night storytelling circles on the grass. It's a celebration of community, creativity, and the joy of discovery. But Port Fairy's festival calendar doesn't stop there. Look out for the Winter Weekends art series, jazz events, and the Spring Music Festival, each bringing its own creative flair. Even outside festival season, Port Fairy's riverside markets are a feast for the senses. Sample artisan cheeses, fresh-baked bread, and locally roasted coffee as you wander past stalls brimming with handmade treasures. Don't miss the seals basking on the rocks, or the dramatic coastline where wild waves crash against ancient volcanic stone. For a local secret, pack a sunset picnic and head to Griffiths Island. Watch the lighthouse glow as the sun dips below the horizon, and keep an eye out for the island's colony of shearwater birds. For nature lovers, Tower Hill Reserve is a must. Just a short drive away, this ancient volcanic crater is a sanctuary for emus, kangaroos, and native birds. Take a guided walk at dusk for your best chance to spot wildlife in their natural habitat, or join an Aboriginal cultural tour to learn about the area's deep history and bush foods. Spring brings wildflowers and a chorus of birdsong, perfect for photographers and birdwatchers alike. Port Fairy's bohemian spirit is everywhere, from the open-air sculpture trails along the cliffs to the community of artists who gather for sunset painting workshops by the sea. Join a poetry reading on the beach, or take part in a community drumming circle as the waves crash nearby. The town's creative pulse is infectious, inviting you to slow down, explore, and maybe even pick up a paintbrush yourself. Insider tip: join a historical walking tour to uncover Port Fairy's colorful past, or slip into a hidden garden cafe for a quiet moment with a locally brewed chai. Browse the town's secret laneway bookshops and vintage record stores, or sip a cocktail at a rooftop bar overlooking the sea. Whether you're a music lover, history buff, or seeker of the unconventional, Port Fairy is where creativity and coastal beauty collide, an unforgettable escape for the curious traveler. Tucked away on the wild, windswept southern coast of Western Australia, Esperance is a destination that feels almost otherworldly. Here the beaches are so dazzlingly white and pure, they actually squeak beneath your feet, a phenomenon that has to be experienced to be believed. As you wander along the endless stretches of shoreline, each step produces a gentle, musical squeak, as if the land itself is singing you a welcome. This isn't just a quirky myth, it's the result of the sand's extraordinary composition, made almost entirely of pure quartz, ground so fine and clean by the elements that it creates this playful, unforgettable soundtrack. The sand is so soft it feels like walking on clouds, and the sunlight reflects off it with a brilliance that almost hurts your eyes, making the entire coastline glow with an ethereal light. Esperance is home to some of the most diverse and breathtaking beaches in Australia. From the iconic Lucky Bay, famous for its squeaky sand and resident kangaroos, to the sheltered coves of Twilight Beach and the dramatic surf at West Beach, there's a stretch of coastline for every kind of beach lover. Blue Haven Beach, with its turquoise waters and granite headlands, is a favorite for swimming and snorkeling, while the secluded Hellfire Bay offers a peaceful escape surrounded by wild bushland. Many of these beaches are patrolled in summer, making them safe for families, and the crystal-clear waters are perfect for spotting marine life just offshore. But Esperance is so much more than just its sand. Venture into Cape Le Grand National Park, and you'll discover Lucky Bay, a stretch of coastline that looks like it's been plucked from a dream. The water here is impossibly blue, so clear you can see every shell and pebble beneath the surface, and the sand is so white it almost glows. But what truly sets Lucky Bay apart are its most famous residents, the kangaroos. These gentle, curious creatures are often seen lounging right on the sand, basking in the sun, or hopping along the shoreline. It's not uncommon to find them posing for photos with visitors, their relaxed demeanor adding to the laid-back magic of the place. The sight of kangaroos silhouetted against the turquoise water, with the wild bushland behind them, is a scene you'll never forget, a perfect blend of Australia's unique wildlife and breathtaking natural beauty. Wildlife encounters in Esperance go far beyond kangaroos. Keep an eye out for echidnas shuffling through the dunes, emus striding across open plains, and flocks of pelicans gliding over the bays. Birdwatchers will delight in spotting rare species like the western ground parrot or the majestic osprey. Offshore, dolphins and seals are regular visitors, and from June to October, southern right whales can be seen migrating along the coast, often coming close to shore with their calves. Beyond the beaches, Esperance is home to some of Australia's most surreal and unforgettable natural wonders. One of the most iconic is Lake Hillier, the famous pink lake whose bubblegum hue is a striking, almost surreal contrast to the deep blue of the Southern Ocean just meters away. Seen from above, the lake looks like a splash of paint on the landscape, its color the result of natural algae and high salt content. The region is a road tripper's paradise, with winding coastal drives that reveal dramatic granite cliffs, hidden coves, and a parade of native wildlife. Emus and wallabies roam the bushland, while dolphins and seals play in the surf. Every turn in the road brings a new vista: towering rock formations, secret beaches accessible only by foot, and wildflowers that burst into color in the spring. For those willing to explore, Esperance is full of hidden gems, secluded swimming holes, ancient Aboriginal rock art, and lookout points where you can watch whales migrating along the coast. For a truly unique experience, take a scenic flight over the Recherche Archipelago, a chain of over 100 islands scattered off the coast. These islands are home to rare sea lions, nesting seabirds, and untouched beaches that can only be reached by boat or air. Guided eco-tours offer the chance to snorkel with sea lions, spot whales from the water, or learn about the area's rich indigenous heritage from local guides. The town of Esperance itself is as laid back and welcoming as they come, with a vibrant local culture that's as colorful as the landscape. Start your morning with a stroll through the charming streets, where you'll find cozy cafes serving up some of the best coffee on the coast, and bakeries tempting you with fresh pastries. The locals are warm and friendly, always ready with a story or a tip on where to find the best views, the freshest seafood, or the most secluded beach. Esperance's creative spirit shines through in its art galleries, murals, and bustling weekend markets, where you can sample local honey, browse handmade crafts, and chat with artists and farmers. It's a place where time slows down, where every day feels like a holiday, and where the simple pleasures, like a good cup of coffee or a chat with a stranger, are celebrated. For foodies, Esperance is a hidden gem. Local restaurants and waterfront eateries serve up the freshest seafood. Think oysters, prawns, and fish caught that morning, alongside regional wines and craft beers. Don't miss the chance to join a guided Aboriginal cultural walk, where you'll learn about bush tucker, traditional stories, and the deep connection the Noongar people have with this land. As the sun begins to set, Esperance transforms into a place of pure magic. There's nothing better than grabbing a serving of classic fish and chips, freshly caught, perfectly crisp, and heading down to the water's edge. Watch as the sky explodes in shades of orange, pink, and purple, the Indian Ocean shimmering in the fading light. Locals and visitors alike gather on the sand, sharing stories, laughter, and the simple joy of good food with a world-class view. Sometimes you'll spot dolphins playing in the surf as the last light fades, or see the stars begin to twinkle above the darkening sea. It's a simple pleasure, but one that captures the essence of Esperance, unspoiled, welcoming, and breathtakingly beautiful. For those who linger after dark, Esperance offers some of the best stargazing in Australia. With minimal light pollution, the night sky comes alive with the Milky Way, and local astronomy tours can introduce you to the southern constellations. In summer, beachside bars and pop-up music events add to the festive, laid-back vibe. Every drive around Esperance is a visual feast for the senses. In spring, wildflowers blanket the roadside in a riot of color, vivid pinks, purples, and yellows that stretch as far as the eye can see. Rugged cliffs drop dramatically into the churning sea, their faces carved by wind and waves over millennia. Salt lakes shimmer in the distance, their surfaces mirroring the ever-changing sky, while flocks of birds wheel overhead. Whether you're a photographer chasing the perfect shot, a nature lover seeking rare orchids, or just someone in search of peace and quiet, you'll find endless inspiration here. Even the air feels different, crisp, clean, and tinged with the scent of salt and wildflowers. For the active traveler, the Great Ocean Drive is a must. This scenic loop takes you past some of Esperance's most stunning beaches, lookouts, and wildflower fields, perfect for cycling or a leisurely road trip. Picnic spots abound, and you'll often have entire stretches of coastline to yourself. At the very edge of Australia, Esperance proves that sometimes the most remote places are the most rewarding. Here, where the land meets the sea in a riot of color and life, you'll discover hidden beaches, secret trails, and a sense of freedom that's hard to find anywhere else. Whether you're watching the sunrise from a windswept cliff, exploring a wildflower-strewn path, or simply listening to the squeak of the sand beneath your feet, you'll realize that the edge of the world is exactly where you want to be. Esperance isn't just a destination, It's an experience, a memory, and a promise of adventure waiting to be discovered. For the adventurous, hiking up Frenchman Peak rewards you with panoramic views over the national park and islands beyond, while kayaking along the coast reveals hidden sea caves and untouched coves. No matter how you choose to explore, Esperance's wild beauty and welcoming spirit will leave you with memories to last a lifetime. Far out in the heart of the South Australian outback, where the land stretches endlessly and the sun blazes overhead, lies a town unlike any other, Coober Pedy. Known as the opal capital of the world, Coober Pedy is famous for its labyrinth of underground dwellings carved deep into the earth to escape the relentless desert heat. Here, life happens below the surface. Step inside a dugout home and you'll find cool, quiet rooms with walls of soft sandstone, decorated with opal fragments that glint in the light. Even churches and hotels are hidden beneath the ground, creating a surreal, subterranean world that feels both ancient and futuristic. Coober Pedy's story began with a glittering discovery in 1915, when a teenage boy stumbled upon opals in the rocky soil. Since then, fortune seekers from around the globe have tunneled beneath the town, creating a honeycomb of opal mines and tunnels. Today, you can try your luck fossicking for opals, or wander through underground art galleries where local artists display vibrant works inspired by the desert landscape. The people of Coober Pedy are as colorful as the gems they chase. In the local pubs, you'll hear wild tales of million-dollar finds, eccentric characters, and the challenges of living in such an extreme environment. One local, Maria, tells of her family's 3 generations of opal mining, while old-timer Mick recalls the time a Hollywood film crew transformed the town for a sci-fi blockbuster. The town's multicultural community, shaped by waves of hopeful miners from all over the world, gives Coober Pedy a unique and welcoming spirit. Above ground, the landscape is stark and otherworldly, mounds of earth from mining rusty machinery, and a horizon that seems to go on forever. It's a place that feels like another planet, especially when the midday sun turns the rocks a fiery red. Fun fact, Coober Pedy's name comes from the local Aboriginal term, Kupa Piti, meaning white man's hole. As evening falls, the sky explodes with color. Sunsets here are legendary, painting the desert in shades of gold, pink, and violet, a nightly show that's pure magic. For the full experience, spend a night in one of Coober Pedy's unique underground hotels. The silence is profound, the air is cool, and you'll drift off knowing you're sleeping in a place shaped by dreams, determination, and the lure of hidden treasure. Don't miss the quirky underground attractions, like the Serbian Orthodox Church, the Old Timers Mine, and even an underground bookstore. Coober Pedy isn't just a town, it's an adventure below the surface where every tunnel tells a story, and every local has a legend to share. In the sun-drenched heart of Queensland, Agnes Water and the historic town of 1770 invite you to experience a slice of paradise where the tropics meet the sea. These twin towns are perfect for road trippers, solo adventurers, and families alike, offering a blend of relaxation and excitement that's hard to find anywhere else. These laid-back beach towns, perched at the southern gateway to the Great Barrier Reef, are wrapped in a lush tropical vibe. Think golden sands, gentle surf, and the scent of frangipani on the breeze. Here, adventure is always close at hand. Try a surf lesson at one of Queensland's northernmost surf beaches, or rent a kayak to explore the tranquil estuaries and secret inlets. Surf the mellow waves, stroll for miles along untouched beaches, or simply sway in a hammock beneath the palms. For thrill seekers, there's stand-up paddleboarding, kayaking through mangrove creeks, and hiking scenic trails with sweeping ocean views. Don't miss the Paperbark Forest Walk, a magical boardwalk through towering trees, perfect for nature lovers and photographers. Take a day trip to Lady Musgrave Island, where the reef bursts with color and life. Snorkel among dazzling coral gardens, swim alongside curious turtles, and discover a world-class underwater wonderland just offshore. For a unique experience, join a glass-bottom boat tour or book an overnight reef stay for stargazing and sunrise swims. As the sun dips low, the sky ignites in a riot of color over the 1770 estuary, a nightly celebration that echoes the town's rich history. This is where Captain Cook first set foot in Queensland in 1770, and the spirit of discovery still lingers in the salty air. Join a guided historical walk, or catch a reenactment of Cook's Landing for a deeper dive into the past. The locals here are storytellers, artists, and adventurers, always ready with a warm smile or a tale about the sea. Don't miss the weekend markets for local crafts and fresh produce, or pop into a beachside cafe for the best flat white in town. In the evenings, gather around a campfire to hear fishermen recount the day's catch or listen to live music at a friendly pub. If you're craving a break from the fast lane, Agnes Water and 1770 offer a peaceful escape, where every sunrise feels like a fresh adventure, and every sunset is a story waiting to be told. Whether you're camping by the beach, joining a sunrise yoga class, or simply watching dolphins play in the surf, you'll find your own slice of paradise here. Nestled in the rolling hills of inland Victoria, Beechworth is a living time capsule, its streets echoing with the footsteps of fortune seekers from the 1850s gold rush. Once a bustling hub where miners panned for gold in the creeks, the town's legacy is etched into every weathered brick and ornate balcony. Explore the Beechworth Powder Magazine, a relic of the gold rush era, and wander to Woolshed Falls, where prospectors once searched for their fortunes and where you can still find traces of gold in the creek beds. Stroll along the heritage streets, where the grand old courthouse still stands, a silent witness to dramatic trials and bushranger tales, including the infamous Ned Kelly. Dive deeper into history at the Burke Museum, home to fascinating gold rush artifacts and stories of the town's colorful past. Each building tells a story, from the stately post office to the old telegraph station, and hidden plaques reveal secrets of Beechworth's most notorious residents. But Beechworth isn't just about history, it's a haven for food lovers. Start your day with a legendary vanilla slice at the iconic Beechworth Bakery, then wander to a local cafe for artisan coffee. Indulge in a tasting platter at Project 49, savoring local cheeses and charcuterie, or enjoy wood-fired pizza and craft beer at Bridge Road Brewers. Don't miss the handmade chocolates at the boutique sweet shops, or a scoop of creamy gelato from Beechworth Ice Creamery. The town's gourmet scene is vibrant, with farm-to-table restaurants serving up seasonal produce, award-winning local honey, and regional wines that capture the essence of the high country. Dine beneath 19th century facades draped in ivy, or picnic in lush public gardens bursting with color. Discover hidden gems like a tucked-away laneway wine bar, or browse the bustling farmers market for fresh produce and artisan treats. The town's tree-lined avenues are especially magical in autumn, when gold and crimson leaves blanket the streets. Take a leisurely stroll beneath canopies of fiery foliage, or explore the dramatic Beechworth Gorge, where walking trails wind past granite cliffs and offer breathtaking views over the valley. Seek out a secret garden tucked behind a heritage building, perfect for a quiet moment or a good book. Pack a picnic and find a quiet spot overlooking the gorge, where the only sounds are birdsong and the whisper of the breeze. Adventurous souls can seek out a hidden waterfall nearby, surrounded by wildflowers and ferns. It's a paradise for bushwalkers, nature lovers, and anyone seeking a moment of peace. Above all, Beechworth is a town with heart, where friendly locals greet you with a smile, and every corner invites you to linger. Pop into an artisan workshop to meet local makers, or simply soak up the welcoming atmosphere. Whether you're chasing gold rush legends, savoring gourmet delights, or uncovering hidden gems, Beechworth promises memories you'll treasure long after you leave. Tucked away on Western Australia's southern edge, Denmark is a place where time seems to slow down. Here, ancient forests stretch for miles, dominated by the towering karri trees, some of the tallest hardwoods on Earth, shrouded in morning mist and alive with the calls of black cockatoos and the scent of eucalyptus. The forest floor bursts with wildflowers in spring, and hidden trails lead to tranquil creeks and secret picnic spots, creating a magical, almost otherworldly atmosphere. Sunlight dances through the dense canopy above, and the air is crisp and invigorating. Wander along winding trails beneath these giants, where every step brings you closer to nature's heart. Explore the famous Bibbulmun Track, which weaves through the Karri and Tingle forests, or take a guided eco-tour to learn about the unique flora and fauna. Then, just a short drive away, discover the crystal-clear waters of Green's Pool, an idyllic, sheltered bay where smooth granite boulders rise from the sea, and the water glows a brilliant turquoise, perfect for snorkeling, swimming, or simply soaking up the sun. Denmark's rolling hills are dotted with boutique wineries, many of which are family-owned and set among breathtaking scenery. Passionate winemakers invite you to sample cool climate wines right at the source. Think crisp Chardonnay, earthy Pinot Noir, and vibrant Riesling. Take a behind-the-scenes tour of a working vineyard, enjoy a long lunch overlooking the vines, or join a wine and cheese pairing session featuring local produce. The landscape, bathed in golden afternoon light, makes every tasting an experience to remember. The food scene here is a celebration of the region's bounty. Think creamy local cheeses, crusty sourdough bread, and decadent handmade chocolates, all crafted by passionate artisans. At the bustling markets, you'll find friendly faces and the freshest produce, from just picked berries to wildflower honey. Many local restaurants and cafes feature seasonal menus, highlighting fresh seafood from the nearby coast and organic vegetables grown in the fertile hinterland. The town itself is a haven for creatives and dreamers, with cozy cafes, quirky art galleries, and boutique shops tucked along leafy streets. There's a laid-back, welcoming vibe. Locals greet you with a smile, and every corner seems to invite you to slow down and soak in the scenery. Throughout the year, Denmark hosts lively festivals celebrating music, art, and local culture, adding to its vibrant community spirit. Whether you're unwinding on a secluded beach at sunrise, sharing stories around a crackling bonfire, or catching waves at Ocean Beach, Denmark offers endless coastal adventures. Try kayaking on the tranquil Wilson Inlet, paddleboarding along the sheltered bays, or spotting dolphins and migrating whales from the cliffs. It's the ultimate weekend escape, a place where memories linger and the beauty of nature is always just outside your door. On Tasmania's wild west coast, where the land meets the roaring Southern Ocean, Strand sits at the edge of the world, untamed, windswept, and steeped in legend. Here, the weather can change in a heartbeat, and the landscape is as wild as the stories that echo through its forests and harbors. Strand is rugged, remote, and packed with stories. Its streets echo with the footsteps of pioneers, fishermen, and convicts who braved this wild frontier. Local legend tells of ghost ships lost in the fog, and fishermen who swear they've seen phantom lights dancing on the water at midnight. Glide silently along the Gordon River, where ancient Huon pines line the banks, and mist drifts through the rainforest like a living memory. The air is thick with the scent of moss and earth, and every bend in the river reveals a new, untouched wonder. Guides share tales of the river's hidden whirlpools and the lost gold of the west coast, rumored to be buried deep in the forest. Step onto Sarah Island, once Australia's most feared penal colony. Hear dramatic tales of desperate escapes, harsh punishments, and the indomitable spirit of those who survived. Some say the cries of convicts still echo on stormy nights. Join a lantern-lit night tour for spine-tingling stories of betrayal, hope, and the legendary escape of Alexander Pierce, the convict who vanished into the wilderness. In the heart of town, catch a local theatre show that brings these stories to life, where history leaps from the stage and the audience becomes part of the adventure. Don't miss The Ship That Never Was, Australia's longest-running play, retelling the true story of a daring convict escape with humor and heart. Feast on the freshest seafood, pulled straight from the cold, clear waters, succulent oysters, sweet crayfish, and the catch of the day, all savoured with a view of the harbour. For a true local experience, visit the weekend market for artisan bread and Tasmanian honey, or ask the chef for the day's best catch. As evening falls, sunsets over Macquarie Harbour set the sky ablaze, golden light spilling across the water, painting the town in a glow that feels almost otherworldly. Bring your camera for the best shots at Lovers Lookout, or simply sit by the water and watch the world slow down. Strand is where nature and history collide, remote, beautiful, and unforgettable. Here, every day is an adventure. Hike through ancient forests, brave the wild seas, kayak hidden coves, or cycle the windswept coast. Local tip: pack for all seasons, as the weather can turn from sunshine to storm in minutes. Lose yourself in stories as dramatic as the landscape itself. This is the wild west coast, untamed, mysterious, and waiting to be explored. Finally, we arrive at Kingscote, the beating heart of Kangaroo Island, and a true wildlife wonderland. Nestled along the island's northern coast, Kingscote greets you with sweeping ocean views, charming historic streets, and a sense of tranquility that feels worlds away from the mainland. This is a place where nature takes center stage, and every day brings a new adventure. Here, wildlife isn't just a highlight, it's a way of life. Kangaroos graze in open fields at sunrise, sea lions bask lazily on secluded beaches, and koalas doze in the arms of ancient eucalyptus trees. Watch for echidnas shuffling through the undergrowth, rare black cockatoos calling from above, and Tamar wallabies feeding at dusk. If you're lucky, you might spot Cape Barren geese or even fairy penguins returning to their burrows after sunset. Ospreys and wedge-tailed eagles soar overhead, while dolphins and fur seals play in the surf. It's like stepping into your own living nature documentary, where every moment brings a new encounter. Kingscote's local flavors are just as unforgettable. Indulge in plump, freshly shucked oysters straight from the bay, sample creamy cheeses and golden honey produced by passionate island artisans, and wander the lively farmers market for a taste of the region's best. Don't miss a visit to a local winery or a picnic with island produce overlooking the ocean. Every meal here is a celebration of the island's bounty, best enjoyed with a view of the sparkling water. Adventure calls from every corner. Paddle a kayak alongside playful dolphins in crystal-clear coves. Hike windswept coastal trails lined with wildflowers, or stand atop rugged cliffs and watch the Southern Ocean crash below. Explore natural wonders like Admiral's Arch and the surreal Remarkable Rocks, or snorkel in sheltered bays teeming with marine life. Birdwatchers will love spotting rare species, and cyclists can enjoy scenic rides along the coast. As evening falls, the sky ignites in a blaze of color. Sunsets here are legendary, painting Kingscote's Bay in gold and crimson. Beyond the natural wonders, Kingscote's warm community spirit shines through. Stroll the vibrant streets lined with galleries and heritage buildings. Meet friendly locals eager to share their stories, and join in on lively waterfront gatherings as the sun dips below the horizon. For the best wildlife encounters, join a guided tour at dawn or dusk, and always keep a respectful distance from animals. Book accommodation early, especially in peak season, and pack layers for the island's ever-changing weather. Kingscote is more than a destination. It's the perfect finale for your Aussie adventure, where unforgettable wildlife, breathtaking beauty, and island hospitality come together in one magical place. If you thought the adventure was over, think again. Welcome to Bright Victoria, a vibrant alpine town where adventure, relaxation, and gourmet delights blend seamlessly in the shadow of the towering Australian Alps. Tucked away in the Ovens Valley, Bright is a place where each season paints the landscape with its own magic, and every visit feels like discovering a well-kept secret. Picture this. Crisp mountain air fills your lungs as you gaze out over lush valleys, rolling vineyards, and snow-capped peaks. In spring, wildflowers burst into color along the riverbanks. Come autumn, the town transforms into a patchwork of gold, amber, and crimson as the leaves turn. Locals say the best way to experience it is by simply strolling the tree-lined streets with a camera in hand, capturing the fiery spectacle. Bright is a true haven for outdoor enthusiasts. Lace up your boots and take on the legendary hikes. Mount Buffalo's granite tours and panoramic lookouts are just a short drive away, offering trails for both seasoned trekkers and casual wanderers. For those who prefer two wheels, the Murray to Mountains Rail Trail starts right in town. I still remember the first time I cycled this scenic path, weaving through vineyards and orchards, stopping for a cheeky gelato at a roadside cafe. The crisp air, the sound of the river, and the sight of ballooning mountains. Pure bliss. But the adventure doesn't stop there. In summer, the Ovens River becomes the town's playground. Families and friends float along in inflatable tubes, while anglers try their luck for trout in the cool, clear waters. Paragliders drift overhead, catching thermals as they launch from Mystic Mountain, and if you're feeling brave, you can join them for a bird's-eye view of the valley. In winter, snow lovers flock to nearby Mount Hotham and Falls Creek for skiing, snowboarding, and après-ski fun, with Bright as the perfect base to unwind after a day on the slopes. Of course, all that fresh air works up an appetite, and Bright's food scene is a destination in itself. The town punches well above its weight when it comes to dining. Artisan bakeries, stylish wine bars, and paddock-to-plate restaurants line the main street. Don't miss the chance to sample local cheeses, handcrafted chocolates, and cool climate wines produced in the surrounding high country. One personal favorite, sitting under the fairy lights at a family-run brewery, sipping a locally brewed pale ale as the sun sets behind the mountains. It's the kind of moment that stays with you long after the holiday ends. Hidden gems abound here. Seek out the Bright Splash Park for a family-friendly afternoon, or lose yourself in the nearby Wandiligong Maze. Just outside town, the Nightingale Bros Apple Orchard invites you to pick your own fruit, or sip on fresh pressed cider in a rustic shed. If you're after tranquility, take a quiet morning walk along the Canyon Walk, where the river sparkles and native birds provide the soundtrack. For travelers, a few tips. Bright is popular year-round, so book your accommodation early, especially during autumn and winter. Bring layers, as alpine weather can be unpredictable, and don't forget your camera. The views are irresistible. If you're visiting in autumn, try to catch the Bright Autumn Festival, when the whole town celebrates the changing of the leaves with markets, music, and parades. Bright is more than a stopover. It's a destination that invites you to slow down, soak up the scenery, and embrace adventure at your own pace. Whether you're hiking through ancient forests, cycling sun-dappled trails, or sharing stories over a glass of local wine, this alpine gem promises memories that linger long after you've left. So, pack your